Where can you find gourmet organic coffees, a friendly hometown atmosphere, and beautiful views of Humboldt Bay and beyond? It's Has Beans Cafe, open every day at 2nd and I Street in the heart of Old Town Eureka. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is Charles Douglas of the Humboldt Sentinel here at the Access Humboldt Media Center in Eureka. This is it, the season finale of Sentinel Interviews, our fall 2010, early 2011 season that is, and we'd like to thank you all so much for tuning in to all dozen episodes, mainly focusing on local politics, but as you can see with our upcoming episode, we're trying to get a bit of the human side in as well. We speak with Sarah Godlin and Chris Durant, a couple of the editors of Savage Henry magazine. They're trying to take a look at the lighter side of the local news and mixing in a bit of the local music scene and comedy as well. I sure do hope you enjoyed their reflections on the absurdity that is our local life here in Humboldt County. And don't forget, Sentinel Interviews is coming back for a second season on Thursday at 7 o'clock, right here, Access Humboldt, Channel 12. And you can also tune into our YouTube channel at any time, youtube.com/Humboldt Sentinel.
Over.
You're
I'm over you.
Me?
Ding!
Oh.
So what do I get? The
High
first
five.
beer, the first drink out of your beer. Here, if
Until Humboldt Beer Distributor starts paying us something, I'm gonna turn that logo. We had a whole beer issue.
Absed.
And I dropped some off.
Absed.
You know that, it's a 6-minute abs. Was it 70 Heaven they had in one corner in one of their comic strips, they had a little PBR, they said something about PBR and like Will had a PBR 12-pack or something, and they get showered with gifts. We do a whole issue where I do 2 whole stories based around PBR, and we don't get shit. Is it public access? Is the language thing?
It's the mainstream media conspiracy all the way.
Okay, what about language with this?
Oh, language, yeah. Thankfully, this isn't live, so post-production,
Okay.
We'll edit ourselves.
So we shouldn't cuss.
No, I'm saying it is a primetime show, but I've never had to use the bleeping function, so it'll actually be kind of fun to have to do that, so that's all good.
Well, Hislop had to let a couple of F-bombs go, didn't he, when he interviewed him? Or
Did he?
I'm just kidding. That's one I did watch back at, because I think you were posting links on Facebook and stuff, so when the campaign was going, we were watching Mike's.
I'm sure if I interviewed Larry Glass now, he would let loose a few
now.
Anyway. Just to make up for lost time.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Please state your names for the record.
I'm Sarah Godlin, co-founder of Savage Henry magazine.
Chris Durant, co-founder of Savage Henry magazine.
All right, Sarah, Chris, welcome so much to Sentinel Interviews here at Has Beans Cafe.
Thanks for having us.
We broke out of the conference room, get out of our little box, and like I said online, instead of talking to politicians like we were most of last season, we're trying to branch out and speak to human beings this time.
Well, I don't know if we're that, but we'll give it our best shot.
I'm a betazoid. But I mean, never mind. I'm not going to get all Star Trek-y today.
She's in the throes of watching, what did you get? The whole series for Christmas?
The entire series, so I'm on season 3. So, and you got to watch 7 a day for the rest of your life to get through them, so I'm in the Star Trek mode right
and
now.
it's making a huge comeback. I heard guys on other podcasts that like the
really?
popular.
Oh, I thought maybe I'm bringing it back.
Yeah, well, they probably listened to our podcast first and were like, well, Sarah, listen
I'm like a less cool Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing Star Trek back.
What's weird is BBC America plays like 3 of those episodes a day now. It's like, what's the British connection there besides Jean-Luc Picard, a British guy playing a French guy in the future?
Because it's about science.
The aliens
Aliens.
have bad teeth.
Alien science.
It must be, yeah, something. I don't know.
Aliens do have bad teeth. If Star Trek's any indication. Aliens are
Tea.
British.
They do a lot of tea ceremonies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's only of Guinan, right? Does Guinan run those? Or
No, there's like the. I'm not getting all stuff.
be careful what you send us, man.
Speaking of Will Wheaton.
Yeah, I thought it was the Loxwana Troy. I thought she was the real social butterfly.
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't want
sexy
to hang
to
out with
boot,
her
huh?
because all she was going to be is sitting there staring at you the whole time quietly.
I'm feeling so. I'm
And
getting
you'd be
a
like,
sense.
you wouldn't feel like
It's-
you're being invaded. And you wouldn't be natural with her around at all. She would way too uncomfortable with Troy.
So anyway, getting to the serious question.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Like I said.
Always bring it around to Star Trek. Always.
Yeah, releasing my inner nerd here, roll right off the bat.
At least yours is inner.
What were you thinking?
Oh, we
We're in
knew
the middle of a grinding depression. The newspaper, print, journalism industry is just totally collapsing. Perfect time to start a print magazine.
We were totally drunk.
Yeah, well, it was me and her together on. You know what it came down to is I used to be the editor of Northern Lights, the Time Standard entertainment thing, and I took a family leave for like a month and a half, and in that time, Monica Topping filled in for me, and she was feeding me information that she heard that they were going to try and yank. Well, not yank. That's not what they were going to. They were revamping Northern Lights. But yet they failed to invite the editor to any of these meetings of the revamping. Sarah was one of my biggest producers. She was wrote
Been
for me.
stringing there for years.
Yeah.
It was one of my major incomes. You know, I don't have a lot of bills, and that was like a major, income for me. And they yanked Chris, and he had just become my editor like a couple months before that.
2 years. That was a year and a half, 2 years. Yeah. So.
And so he didn't like what they were doing. They were keeping him out of the loop, and I came with him.
We sat around talking. There's a bunch of those, F those guys, and I can't believe this, and corporate this, and corporate that, and it really kind of it hurt my feelings. Really it did.
He's got feelings.
To have this thing and to be the editor, and I made changes. I did some design changes to it, and I was doing like the huge picture with the. I limited the text, and when people don't want to read, they just want to look at a picture and read, 6 paragraphs, and I'm trying to work that in. And I was working for some change. I had a lot of ideas of sponsors that we could go to, but they didn't invite me to any meetings, so they didn't hear any of the ideas. And then when I was gone, they totally took it, and they put it to shoved it inside the Tri-City Weekly. So.
And I'm not gonna work at the Tri-City Weekly.
Tri-City Weekly. I know Jessie who does that, and she's working hard on that, and it's totally cool, and it's an awesome thing. But it's not something that I signed up for. When I signed on to Northern Lights, it was 20 pages a week of stuff that I was getting to pick from it. It's not an egotistical thing. It's just they kind of screwed me. They yanked it out from under me and changed it all up. Yeah, it was. I took it as a whole, like it was my job, and I approached it as such.
He got excited about the beat battle thing too, and he was doing different stuff with it and paying for it out of his own pocket and really giving towards this thing, and they weren't really giving anything back. And then they did this, and we were camping at one point, and we're family friends, and he started talking about this magazine that he used to edit, that he was the editor of and creator of, that I read when I first moved here to go to college, that I totally was just so gaga over, like this like awesome magazine, Short Bus, that was almost the same format, maybe a little cheaper and younger than our magazine now.
And it was broader because we went from Palm to, we had a 20,000 circulation when Short Bus ended. We did 14 issues, I think, and but none of us were business people. We're all writers and artists, and none of us knew how to run a business. And so one of my partners, it was me and another guy, and the other guy was tired of paying $1,500 out of his own. He was single. I have a bunch of kids. He was single. He had a good job, so he was paying $1,500 out of every pocket every issue out of his pocket, and it was like he got tired of doing it, understandably so. But none of us wanted to go into a business. Would you like to advertise? None of us were the salespeople. None of that. So short business kind of went away.
And I've been a writer for years and writing with this newspaper and a newspaper in my hometown, and I was trying to start I played roller derby here for a while, and I was trying to start a roller derby magazine that was like in print form and on the web, and it didn't seem to have like the kind of draw that something like this would. There's only so many roller derby players in the in the country or in the town. How many? Like 40. So he was talking about this, and I got really excited. And I've always been the biggest fan of funny little magazines, Mad Magazine and The Onion, and we kind of drink. Oh yeah, it'd be fun if we started a magazine. And then we did.
Basically, we had a few meetings, and the first meeting we had 20 people, 15, 10 people show up.
Yeah.
Next meeting,
We're
5
like,
people showed
about
up.
business, about, I don't know, babies, I don't know, anything. We know you, and you know stuff. Come to this meeting. And the second one, it whittled down.
And then by the third meeting, it was myself, Sarah, my wife, Monica, who is Savage Henry's designer, and she makes us look good. And then Josh Duke, who was another writer for me in Northern Lights, and he'd worked for the Eye before too. And he knew the local music scene a lot, so us four were the only ones who showed up at the third meeting.
Yes.
So we said, all right, we're the owners. And
It was a process of elimination.
Kind of, yeah.
There's the 4 is a manageable number. Okay, let's go to the bank. Let's go to the bank and put in $60. I got 30, you got 30, and let's start a bank account. And so it's been slowly growing from there, and we've been in the red. Oh, I got $30 this month, $50, and then black. And paying for itself.
Yeah, the magazine's been paying for itself pretty much since the first issue. What made me quit the Times Standard was Savage Henry, because the reaction I was getting from people about without anything to show them, potential advertisers, like, we're going to try a humor thing, and it's going to do this and that, just with a little sheet of paper, and what I was saying the exact same that I couldn't do for Short Bus, I was able to, after 8 years, be able to pull it off. And the reaction we were getting from local advertisers was enough to make me quit my job.
And you didn't have Monica during Short Bus either.
No, we didn't have Monica during Short Bus.
She gets Employee of the Month every month.
Pretty much every issue, because she stays up till 6 in the morning. She's a perfectionist and won't settle for, like me. If I'm like, just cut that guy's head out and put it on there.
Wrong.
She makes the guy's head look like it's really that guy's head, and she takes the time. She knows me well enough to know that I'll just throw some ideas out at her, and she'll say, all right, just go in the other room, leave me alone for a couple hours, and I'll come back, and it's better than I even pictured. So yeah, she puts the time in. Like I said, she doesn't cut corners, so she makes us look good, real good.
So we love her.
Yeah.
He loves her more because he married her.
Yeah.
Well, I must say you have the most beautiful blog I've seen in this whole county, at least in the last couple of years.
As in clean, as in no one comments?
The cut off animal head on the Hitler salute doll, that just really stuck with me today.
Yeah, that was that was actual Halloween costume. My friend Ben's friend, our music editor is Ben Allen. He used to live here. He grew up in this area, but now he lives in Seattle. And we had to go all the way to Seattle to get a music editor for Humboldt County because we put ads in the magazine saying, hey, we want music. I don't like going to shows that much anymore because I really can't stand drunk people and people just trying to get laid or whatever. I'm like, I want to see a show. I don't want to be around it.
Give him a sign.
Give him a sign.
Yeah, we got him.
Yeah,
we're
here. It's like we're not Matt Lauer, dude. Sorry.
I'm Matt Lauer.
Who isn't Matt Lauer? But anyway,
Katie Couric.
what was I saying?
Oh, it was about Ben Allen.
About Ben Allen. And what was I saying about Ben Allen?
He's cool. He lives in Seattle.
Yes.
He was around here for years.
Yeah,
and
he
a
grew
lot of
up
people
here.
will remember him from.
Oh, the Hitler thing. Yeah, that was an actual costume his friend put on his dog. It was like an actual thing. It wasn't a cut off like dog head. It was a thing that had so the dog walked around with this. Yeah, it was crazy. So, but yeah, that's our website. We have no magazine content on the website yet.
We have a shit website.
Well, I assume that's kind of a a little teaser to get people to actually go and find a print copy, right?
Yeah, we hope. But all those people we get in Russia and Turkey.
Go to our website too. That'd be fine. I mean, we have no problem like running out of the magazine.
Yeah. That's our biggest complaint is no one can find the magazine.
Seriously, I couldn't find the first couple issues. I had Nathan, you just met, email you guys to drop some off here.
Yeah.
So I have like 2 of your issues.
Is this a drop-off spot?
Yeah, it is now.
Oh, okay.
But
we're not listed on your website.
are you not?
We will do that.
You know what? You probably were last time. I think last time because we change it every time we change them out. I scratched that whole thing and we start over. So. You guys might have been closed or something like that. Because I remember when I go Old Town, I always come by here, and I think, if memory serves, last time you guys were closed, so I didn't. And then we put them all out, and then they're gone. But we are getting 1,000 more for the next issue. That's another thing. We had our first meeting. We had is it okay to drop his name?
I don't know whose name. God, is it God?
Our friend Dominic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, came Dominic. To some of the first meetings.
Aaron, Dominic Jefferson.
And he's had some time on the business end of the publishing industry, and he came, well, maybe we want to start small, maybe we want to start with this and that. So we weren't even supposed to get to 2,000 issues until about now.
Right, he's like, you know.
Start 200, 300, like do this and that. And we're like, okay, and then we got the first issue with 1,000.
We got to totally cut out the part of the business where we were a crappy little zine. You know, and I don't know how we did it. Maybe it was that initial $60 we had or something. But we got to completely cut it out. And I had even bought a bunch of like supplies for like creating a zine, you know.
Stapling ourselves and everything.
But we got to cut it out, and that's been maybe the best thing for us because it gave us like some cred right away. You know, we're not a zine, we're a magazine. We're glossy. And, you know,
initially we were talking about doing a copy machine. Yeah. Like, you know, and I don't work there anymore, so I can say it. I was going to go in to the Times Standard at 10 at night and use all their paper and all their copy machine in.
Mask on.
But we never did it, and that is really the truth.
It's like, I heard this guy was gonna come in. Maybe we should give his magazine away to the trash.
You know, that's what we used to do is protest kids at HSU in the late 90s. It was before the whole police state system where all of your printouts are coded to your student number or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you could just print out 1,000 protest flyers. You know, and as long as the printers didn't run out of paper, just go for it.
Right.
Yeah. So we thought that's when Short Bus first started. And that's what I knew. So that's what we were going to go with. Like Short Bus started off on a bad foot. We had a $1,600 Kinko's bill before our first issue. Like, we didn't pay it, and we had no intention of paying it. But and then we tried to hold all the scams with the whole taking the counters that came, the old counters. I don't even know what they do at Kinko's anymore. They have counters?
No, it's all on your Kinko's card. You put in your credit card, and it's not like that anymore.
They had counters, and what I'd do, we'd zero them out. I heard this trick, and I remember one of the first times we tried to do this. We had the counter, and if you smack it really hard on your hand, it would zero it out. We had like 300 copies on the counter, and I smacked it really hard on my hand, and it went to 9,999.
Is this more than 7 years ago?
Yeah, huh?
Is this more than 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Limitations.
So yeah, it's so I'm cool with that.
Remember, no statute of limitations on murder or war crimes. So
okay,
as long as we're clear on that.
It's like financial crimes, and I'm good. It wasn't even a crime. We just didn't pay our bills. But yeah, when I tried to smack it out to zero, it went to 9,999.
This thing's faulty. I got one copy.
But yeah, so we weren't even 1,000 was the first. We weren't even supposed to get 2,000. Issue number 2
went to 2,000.
And issue number 2 is actually our third issue because we started off with issue number 0.
It's a joke we played on ourselves.
And boy, is it making confusion all day long over here. So yeah, when people try to, and we like to refer to our issues by number too, not by
theme,
not our month
or color of the cover. The yellow one.
The yellow one is the holiday issue. It's the National Geographic issue.
Shoot, and this one's a yellow one. That's confusing.
Yeah, it is a yellow one too. So yeah, that's where the origins of Savage Henry. That's how we started.
Well, what do you think about what it says about the state of Arcata, given that, you know, the eye supposedly on this verge of collapse? So I'm not asking to speculate on that, but assuming that happens in the next year, you guys would be the only print anything aside from whatever's going on in the campus bubble.
We hope that they don't collapse.
And God knows people don't want us to be their source of it. Like No, I did that for a while, and I'm done with that.
Yeah, but that's too much pressure, like giving you the actual news. We just don't want to do that.
Well, we do.
What it makes me think more of is the whole Daily Show syndrome, that people our age or younger, they cannot stand the news. The mainstream media just so sickens them that all they do is tune it out and maybe watch comedy to get their news. Do you think?
We don't even want to be that.
Well, we have some. Like on our website, especially.
Yeah, right.
Like,
we do.
I still get press. The sheriff's department took me off their list because I kind of reached out before I left the Times Standard. I reached out to all my connections because after I left Northern Lights, I went back to being a cop reporter for 4 months or so, and reached out to all my connections, and we still get press releases from the Arcata Police Department. We still get press releases from at least Hop and Sergeant Watson at the EPD. And that's about it. Everyone else kind of, like the Sheriff's Department took us off the Rolodex.
It probably won't be unbiased. It'll be a little skewed.
It'll just be funny. Like the whole guy that we recently, I think it was last week, the guy who exposed himself to people and then was arrested, and then he was taken to jail, apparently released the same day because Arcata Police caught him that very same night, exposing himself again. So we, of course, that's right in our wheelhouse. That's got Savage Sentinel written all over it.
We exposed him in a different way.
Yeah. He exposed himself.
It was actually that very picture I just posted on my Facebook. I'm about to sit down with the shit editorial board.
Oh, no, shithead is that's Is that you say shithead?
That's our fans. We'd like to call them that.
Savage Henry Independent Times is our acronym for our publishing company, and Deadhead and shithead,
Ween,
yeah. It works, I think. We're coming up with an idea for a shirt that says "I am a shithead," but we're kind of sketched to see if anyone would actually wear a shirt that says "I am a shithead."
I think we have a parental warning in the magazine, and there's probably not that much that's that bad for kids. I mean, we don't even cuss very. I guess the angry driver cusses
cover our ass.
We do really think about it.
Well, if you ever get sick of the whole no fear motif, well, how about no shit?
We'll take that under consideration.
10%, please. But it's a small town, though. I mean, the guy. You be quiet, sweetie. The guy just got caught bolt cutting right here a block away. The press release just came out from UPD. These are the same people who are running out of has-beens for misusing our bathrooms, not being customers, and doing their drugs in there or whatever.
Oh, okay, that's how you misuse a bathroom. That's my first question: is how do you misuse a bathroom? Because that could be really gross, I bet.
You can kind of tell the concealed weapon drug addicts when they have these giant welts all over their face.
Oh, yeah.
Just, slight hint.
That's what sucks if you have like a skin condition.
Oh, I know. They just think you're a drug addict. Oh, I hate that.
I know.
Maybe that would be a great, they should unite.
They should. Or just wear shirts maybe, or badges.
Yeah,
I'm not a drug addict, I have a skin condition.
But then again, drug addicts are liars.
Yes, and they would use that. Damn it, people's skin conditions get screwed in this country.
Totally. They're like the most bummed minority ever.
Yeah, and they look like bums. That's probably the problem.
But just so I hammer the stake well into the ground past all point of good taste, the whole Daily Show thing, just one more time. It's like one of your advertisers says, that they get a response from an ad in your publication or on your website more than an ad in one of the local mainstream outlets. Do you think you're kind of building that kind of loyalty from folks who are really getting into what you're trying to say?
Oh, for sure. That's like I said, with the whole thing of me quitting my job, and it's just over people just saying hell yes without anything to show them. That's done nothing but quadruple since we've had something to show them.
Right.
It's we have lots of advertisers and we love them to death and we support them as much as possible, that are in it to win it. Really, basically, they're like, I can think of 3, which I'm not going to name because of my family, but 3 that right off the top of my head that say, as long as you guys are publishing, we are in your magazine. So to have that in our confidence as well, it's just surprising. Like you said, in this day and age of print publications.
And you're right, it is such a bad time to get into print, but this area is so backwards in so many ways that it's the perfect time to get into print.
So sad. It's a bad time. Perfect time.
Perfect. Right. Buy an ad.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, the realtor dude, the no bullshit realtor dude.
Oh yeah, that's our buddy. Yeah, that's our buddy, Chris Sundin.
Yeah.
He's great.
That was
Wasn't that a great ad?
That was
it's an
his
ad
idea.
he couldn't put in a regular something else, you know, and he gets the freedom to put, you know, the word bullshit in our magazine, and we get the freedom to write whatever the hell we want because, you know, we're unusual, you know, but we're also writers. And
yeah, and it is our. I mean, that's. I mean, if I can be really candid here, for a while there, I tried to make a little extra money in the other industry around here, you know, and that didn't happen. Of course, it never pans out like it's supposed to or anything. So that's after I quit the Times Standard. So I tried to like make ends meet.
I think you should probably say in what way and not in the other way.
Oh, I wasn't growing. I was just working in fringe aspects of that industry. I was not trying to grow, by any means. And
you know, I was totally thinking Third Street. So.
Well, that too. I mean, the library meaning of it. But no. So that didn't happen. So just total dedication to like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. So now we're doing it. Everything. We got lots of stuff coming up. Now that we've been in February and March, will be a year since we've been around.
Year since we've
since our first publication. Yeah, because we've been around a year now with our whole planning and all that stuff. We started right December of 08, right, or 09. December of 09, we started putting all the pieces together. Came out in March of 10, and there's no looking back. We have so many things planned on the horizon.
We've got a comedy show kind of thing, like a stand-up thing.
Open mic, type of open mic thing. February 28th is our first one.
And our birthday bash.
That's at Jambalaya.
Our birthday bash.
Our birthday bash is at Nocturnum on March 5th, and that's going to be, we're shooting for 12 bands in 12 hours with lots of other things going on, and there'll be lots of information about that in the mag.
Nocturnum, yeah.
And also in March, we're starting in the weekend of March 21st in 1971 was the weekend that Hunter Thompson and Oscar Acosta went to Las Vegas to cover the Mint 400.
You should say that Savage Henry.
Yes, Savage. We got our name from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's mentioned in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So we're going to go down there the weekend of March 19th this year, which is 40 years since the weekend they were there, and do a whole 40 years in Fear and Loathing and try our hand at what he did. We're not going to break any hotel rooms or anything, but you know, to see because
we're going to rent a convertible, and we're going to drive. I don't know, like you know, 10 of us or 12 of us.
If I could film that, please.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Totally
it's open. It's open to our readership. It's I'm working with Circus right now because I think they're one of the only casinos that was open at the time that and featured in the book. And it's funny. The story there is that I looked on Travelocity or one of those sites, and they said $75 a night. So I'll call them and see if we can work something out. So they said, okay, here, took down my information and emailed me back and said, yeah, we can do a great deal at $87 a night. I was like, didn't quite work out. I'm paying $12 extra bucks a night. But anyway, I'm working with Circus trying to make something. So I think in the next issue, in the next day or two, I'm going to lock down
We're
something.
trying to make it as big as possible. Maybe people, whoever wants to be in Las Vegas at that time, it's going to be a fun party, Savage Henry style.
It's also my 39th birthday that weekend, so.
Don't tell them that one.
And somehow I've managed to avoid Vegas my entire life.
Really?
Oh!
Wow, well then no better time than that to get down there.
But invoking Savage Henry, Fear and Loathing, I mean...
he can at least get us to Barstow if you want to, like, film.
I was sort of trying to read some, pseudo-intellectual thing into it. It's like, are you saying, like, we are just neck deep in the Sixth Reich, and this is the inevitable outcome of it, where we're at now economically, politically?
Yeah, well, when he went down there, he was looking for the American dream, and my personal opinion, I haven't been to Vegas in years, my personal opinion is that if there's any American dream, you're going to find it in Vegas, because the American dream now is to escape your fucking real life, right? So, I mean, that's the American dream, is to like, real life, I'm going to go here, and
Vegas is an escape from real life for like
a weekend.
2 days.
Yeah, that's exactly
and then it's so
plan.
disgusting that you love your real life.
Yep.
And you got to take that. I go every year.
Well, as long as you keep just going to the pirate shows And the Cirque du Soleil. Cirque du Soleil, what's it called?
Cirque du Soleil.
Hit a few buffets, you know.
Hey, we can blame the French for Cirque du Soleil. Let's be fair.
It wasn't that bad.
They need Cirque de Buffet.
Cirque du Buffet.
That would be it. Having guys serving like pizza
Like,
slices, throwing them at you.
Yeah, you want some more? Me.
They're rubbing their stinky French armpit before they throw it. Okay, we shouldn't be saying this. We need to work on it, develop it. No Cirque du Buffet. That's Savage Henry got that.
Admittedly, it's been about 10 years since I read the book, but I mean, what was Savage Henry exactly, other than this sort of oblique reference by Hunter S. Thompson's lawyer?
Well, it was actually Acosta, who is the Dr. Gonzo, was Hunter Thompson's lawyer, and he's the one who referred to it when they picked up the hitchhiker, and they're on, right when all the initial drugs were hitting, and they picked up the hitchhiker on their way, and they said they were going there to off a skag baron named Savage Henry. And weird that Wikipedia picks up that Savage Henry's a heroin dealer, but in any of my other research, I've not been able to indicate where that came from. So we're not saying because of heroin.
Going off my drug-fueled memories of the movie, I seem to remember it was kind of tied up with the woman in the elevator that Dr. Gonzo sort of made untoward advances towards.
Oh, well, he didn't mention Savage Henry there. He mentioned Savage Henry in the convertible with Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. And but yeah, that was funny too. He rides a big. I just remember that one.
Ape hangers.
The big fingers. When we talk about the motorcycle he rides, yeah. So yeah, I can talk about that movie all day, but I don't want to.
Yeah, none of
It
that.
annoys
None of
my
Star Trek. Yeah.
counterparts.
That and Star Wars.
Get me started on Hunter Thompson and Star Wars. I'm gonna show you.
Well, but who's done a screening of that recent documentary? I think I caught on Netflix when I was house sitting for a friend. I think it was called Gonzo.
Yeah, there's a Gonzo. Yep.
But I mean, what a life the guy had.
Yeah.
Ran for sheriff of
Tried to be. He didn't get elected. Almost. That was the first time he shaved.
And through it all, he was a journalist, and that is the most intriguing part of it. A successful one.
Yep. That's what. Yeah, when he killed himself, that was a total shock.
So you definitely with these podcasts, and I heard a reference or two in one of those towards a stick cam.
Oh yeah, we definitely stick cam. I stick
really?
cam. I stick cam.
So there is a new media ethos that's being embraced.
Definitely.
Here.
Not only that, but more to come. You know, like we're trying to like cover all the bases. You know, stick cam is. Are you familiar with stick cam?
I have a friend who does blog TV. It's pretty similar.
Okay. It's you know, it's such a tight community. It's a really small community right now, the stick cam community. Fuck you. That's what I did on New Year's. I hung out at stick cam with my buddies. I have my kids on New Year's and they go to bed early. They're not, and I was by myself, so I drank with my buddies on stick cam. So I'm saying it was actually fun too, and so
And it kind of throws me off that stick cam because we record the podcast
on stick cam.
and then with the podcast it's like, okay, we're gonna go to a song, and like, boom, I stop recording, and then we start shooting the shit, and then I
guy's
look over,
ugly. That guy
and
sucks.
that
He's got a
laptop
drinking
is still
problem.
pointing at
Yeah,
us,
right.
it's still on. I'm like, oh, fuck.
But the cool thing about stick cam is you can see like 5 of the people that are watching you, you know, at any given time. It's kind of nice. It's they're there with you and they're typing there with you and they're like interacting with your show, you know, so they can ask you a question and you can get to it right away or whatever. And are you familiar with Let's Paint TV?
I'm not.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
You
Sleepy
are
is.
a fan.
She wants to get on a treadmill and start painting right now.
Right. It's basically a guy who paints and is
While walking
motivational
on a treadmill and doing something else.
Right, making hash browns or a smoothie or something. And
All at the same time.
it's got this huge follower community that's like through Stickcam, and I'm glad to be a part of it. We've got and you can record your podcasts, and that's basically what it's for. People can go and see us doing our stupid podcasts like Howard Stern or the other guy. The other guy.
Rush Limbaugh?
Yeah.
Glenn Beck, Alex Jones. A lot of people video their radio shows to break the third wall or what have you.
Yeah, why not?
Sarah's managing it. Going
Comma, Stickcam, exclamation point. Yeah.
Well, we will break the third wall right now and take a break here. We'll be back with Sentinel Interviews, talking to the editorial board, very guest body of Savage Henry, Independent Times.
Yeah.
Let's talk business here. Sorry.
It's smoking, drinking in the woods. I mean, that's basically the point of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could be a caddy. I'd be a better caddy. I'd be a better caddy
You
if I
can't
just
be a disc caddy.
if I just went around and smoked and drank
Here,
in the
sir.
woods with them.
Which one?
Yeah,
The
and
blue
I didn't have
one?
to worry about keeping score or the pressure of throwing it the right way. I could be a damn good disc golf caddy.
Well, really, it's carrying the bottles, carrying the glassware.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got that. I've
That
done
way-
that.
I think
more than
if there's gonna be caddies, then I'll just play disc golf. If somebody's gonna carry all the crap, even
I
if I'm
give
bad,
you
guess.
advice too. Like, oh, you should use that smaller one.
That's like
You should use
the
the bigger
green
one.
one with the marbly yellow.
Yeah.
I know they've got
Based
like
on
sizes
color?
and
I
yeah,
know.
just based on color.
I like the yellow one. It looks neat when it flings.
Thinking yellow today.
Did you move my product placement?
Did I move your beer? Am I drinking
Yeah.
your beer?
I don't know. Someone moved my product placement.
Is this your beer?
Oh,
Hey,
there it
we're
goes.
only promoting has-beens here, so that's okay.
Has-beens.
Yes.
They have beans. Is that your logo? It should be.
And no alcohol, which is why this is so strange.
Well, it's a special night in downtown Eureka.
We better watch out
I know. Why?
because just because we live in Arcata and 2 beers is
I know.
well, not for you. You can drink like 17
Yeah.
beers legally.
Well,
But
we did
I
come
just saw
straight
the
from the
thing
shanty
from
to here, if that's it.
Hey,
One
you said you
beer.
came straight from Willits.
No, a Willits. I stopped in the shanty. I waited for her.
Well, it's the shanty.
Boy, Justin's really branching out from the shanty or from the Alibi Arcata. Now it's going to be Alibi Willits, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Willits needs an alibi. Willits needs something. I don't live there, but
I do.
that you do.
Yeah, they don't need an alibi.
The hell, you live in Willits? I have no idea. Damn, that is a commute.
We should just answer his questions.
I'm waiting for him. We'll just keep talking because it.
No, only the guilty need an alibi. So
No, there we go.
I don't live in
I haven't
Willits.
been- have you been to the Eureka one yet?
No, you want to go after this?
Sure. I gotta check.
Do you want to go?
I
Check.
haven't been there.
Let's go.
All right.
Check in with the old lady.
Yeah.
I gotta check in
Oh,
with the
okay.
old
Yeah.
lady,
Okay. I should check in with my
Can't
old lady
can't
too.
film there though. Too much ambient noise.
No. Yeah. You don't want anyone to know you're there. I hear
So-
it's amazing.
You touched on it already, but what's next for Savage Henry?
Okay. I don't want to spill it yet. It's just exciting, and I'm not going to spill it.
More and more and more. I mean, really, we're doing the comedy open mic thing. Is going to be. We talked with Pete, who booked the Big Pete from the pizza place. He books at the Jambalaya too, and he's giving us the last Monday of every month.
Unless it sucks really bad, in that case, we will not do it.
For sure. If we do 1 or 2, and they and Sarah leaves the building with her face
Bright
buried
red.
in her sweater, then we will probably not do it anymore. Hey, so if you are any chops whatsoever, if you're gonna be on stage, it's free for you to get in, and it's only gonna be like a $3 cover for people who just want to watch the train wreck.
It can't be any harder than this, except for people might boo.
Yeah, we're working on our own little 5 minutes each. I am. She said she would.
I am.
But we're working on our own little 5 minutes, and F it. We'll put it out there, but if it sucks, it sucks, and we won't do it anymore. And then we have the podcast is going to keep going, and we want to make
Podcast
that more regular.
Slash video casts. We
through
do it
spurts.
weekly, and
Weekly, we go through spurts. We'll do like 4 in a week or 4 in a month, and then all of a sudden we won't be in the same room together again
Yeah.
for what?
Have you thought about like pre-announcing that and like putting it in a publicly accessible location where you could be heckled?
we have.
But the podcast, and then should we bust CJ's project out right now?
I don't want to spill the beans yet.
Okay, it's in development where there might be a video component to Savage Henry magazine. So that's also
Other than the podcast video.
yeah,
but yeah.
like more structured and refined.
And exciting. And maybe we'll talk to you about that off camera.
Yeah,
Is this like kind of the Onion News Network sort of dealy, or?
kind of. Our friend CJ, who's he runs Orc Productions here in town, and he It's actually in McKinleyville, but
There are productions in
Oric Productions, but he lives in McKinleyville. The name of his company is Oric.
I thought they made Redwood Burls up there.
And they make videos. No, but
I think maybe McKinleyville Productions was taken, Arcata Productions was taken, Eureka Productions was taken.
He was
so
like,
you're like moving up on the
He was this close to going to Crescent City Productions, but he found Oric. So, but he is working hard a lot with Sarah too on the video aspect. We don't know exactly the form it's going to take yet, but it's definitely being developed for sure. And
we're putting a lot of effort into it, so we're excited about it.
There is a possible Sabbath Henry, possible at this point. I'm not going to do the venue, but a Sabbath Henry weekly karaoke deal. That might be in the works.
That might be your guys' thing. I don't know about.
She can sing. She's just not going to say it, but she can.
I can't.
Yeah.
I was born without the ability to sing.
She's been working hard, going to therapists for years, and it's paying off.
My Achilles heel.
Nobody here but a couple ex-journalists and a hound dog, so feel free.
Oh yeah, no, no, really, without the ability to sing. My parents, I saw a lot of specialists when I was younger.
Mermaid, like some giant octopus lady took it from you or something. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a sore subject.
When I got the legs, I had to give up something.
Yeah. What was that prince's name? Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was handsome, wasn't he?
What? He was.
Wasn't he
Out
handsome?
of all the princes,
Eric was the most handsome.
and the
prince.
most grounded.
I know.
He was grounded.
He was.
He didn't have
like
this
a
whole
real
Prince
person.
Charming thing.
I know.
Yeah. And you know what? He had a good supporting crew around him. All his caretaker, the old man.
They were all
they were
so
all good.
nice. Yeah.
Square on guys. Eric is the best Prince Charming.
By far.
By far. Most grounded. I want to see him
He
get
remember when he
married
got
to
that statue. Somebody made a statue of him, and he was like, "Ugh, "I don't want a statue of me."
I know.
You know, that was really
He wanted
awesome. I mean,
statue of
he's
Sebastian.
humble,
Crap.
kind, loving. He was really hung up on that voice, though.
Yeah. He wants his lady to sing, huh?
Apparently.
Well, that's before they had YouTube.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could probably take a silent chick now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just
There's
watch
just
YouTube.
a lot of options now.
You could put ladies singing in YouTube and boom.
Right.
Every night, and then he gets his fix, and then he's good.
Yeah.
Man, Eric, you were born too soon, dog.
Sorry, Eric.
So about YouTube, it's like there's so many cool channels going on all over the world. Why don't you think Humboldt County is kind of caught up with the pack?
Oh, because we're all such stoners over
Yeah.
here. You put Arcata in, and it's like, oh, look at this like guy with a thing over his face and in this weed garden.
If I can refer back to when we first started the magazine, our first initial meetings, how we
We're like, no weed.
we had all these people showing up, talented, people of different aspects, and they go, we're gonna do this, and then by
Then
the
like,
third
oh,
meeting,
I
within
was
2
hungover,
weeks,
I couldn't come
no
to the
one
meeting.
showed up. People, when
gotta
you
be
start
down.
something up here, you get 900 people ready to join in. But then when it comes time to put it into work, you're by yourself or with your core group, and that's where Sabbath Henry started. And then we did it, and now that it's become something. Then some of those 900 people start trickling back in, but we can't sit around and wait. Sitting around and waiting for people to all be on the same schedule it's now that this is our profession, this is what we do. We're not going to sit around
It's our job.
and wait.
It's what we do for a living now.
Yeah.
We're depending on it. We've got between us, we have 17,000 children.
I have 5. She's got 2, and
So that's 17,000.
yeah, so that adds up to 17,000. You put them all in the same room. But yeah, we got a lot of, and I'm just tired of the whole if you wait for everyone when you start something, you put something out there and you wait for it, it's not going to happen. It's not. You just need to keep going. Break through that. Get through those people that all said they're going to be there, and then when you produce something, they're all going to come back to you, and then you can give them a middle finger.
Or like be like happy to take what they have to give to the project.
That's true.
And
for
hide
sure.
the middle finger with your hand
Yeah.
like this.
As
That's
you take
a
it from
nice way to do
As
that.
you take.
No, not at all. Just like be happy to,
Yeah.
and then they're stringers.
That does make me out to be a jerk a little bit, but I'm not trying to be, because I totally appreciate all of our contributors, all the people who write for us, all that. Which we have quite the eclectic staff now.
We do. I think a lot of them are really talented.
Yeah. We have John Harden in Sohum. He's our Sohum bureau chief. He's
hysterical
Garberville,
and prolific.
Prolific dude, and he produces all kinds of stuff. Did you think about one of his pieces?
No.
Okay. We have Zach Newkirk, who was my movie guy when I worked at Northern Lights. He's producing stuff.
If I had a pony, if like the magazine was a race, I would put my money on him. You know, he's so fucking
he works in
funny.
Hollywood.
He's so hysterical.
So, yeah. Very funny. CJ, again, he produces his very quick and to the point, poignant pieces that are funny as heck. And
a juxtaposition of...
Yep. Who else? I'm missing like 900.
Wait, you say poignant though, it almost sounds like you're trying to make a point.
They're short.
With his pieces, he is trying to make a point.
A very short point. And he just makes the point. And,
being a single man and having a cat doesn't make me gay.
And that's the
one
point.
of his pieces. And it's only a paragraph.
It doesn't make him gay.
No, it doesn't.
He can love his cat a lot.
And I love Scooter too.
And
Scott, Scooter, his cat.
No
great
homo.
Cat. No homo at all. Nothing, there's anything wrong with that. Is it still
Thank
cool
you.
to say that? I mean, like, is that played out?
I don't know. Is it still a joke?
I don't know.
Not that there's anything wrong with
Just
that.
like having a pit bull doesn't make me a grower.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, for sure. Now,
Being
if
gay
you put your
doesn't
pit bull
make
in
you
your your 2011 F250 with the black mag wheels out front, I might have to double guess you, but still.
He could just
doesn't
be a
necessarily
jackass. He doesn't have to. Just kidding.
And
Just kidding.
who else?
Actually, I don't have a car,
I have a
but I'm not a
gigantic
hippie
truck.
either. I'm
But
just
I'm
trying to break all those
I'm a
stereotypes.
redneck. I'm not a grower.
We got Josh. We can't forget Josh, who wanted to be here, but he has a real job too to help.
No, we haven't talked about Josh at all. Really.
No, Josh
Josh is great because when he came on board, he had just had this huge
Stigma?
name. He made a name for himself for being a lot of bands' biggest critic. He's a music critic.
He's a music.
And he's good at it.
Yeah,
he's definitely a critic, and he's an unapologetic
That's
critic.
for sure.
And it made so many bands around here angry, but maybe it also made him better. But he had this name recognition that was like, oh, this guy, But his pieces are hysterical and cutting, and he doesn't apologize. I tend to be like, oh, it was good, He'll be like, that sucked. And we like him for it. He's that guy on our staff that does not mind hurting feelings.
He doesn't get off on it, but he's not going to let someone's feeling prevent him from telling him what they think. You know what I mean? It's not like he goes out to hurt feelings, but if you leave a softball out there for Josh Duke, he's going to hit it out of the park.
Out of the park.
Yeah,
softball
for sure.
I filmed so many mediocre bands. I guess I just lack that inner courage.
Well, let's just say all these bands that get really upset about it, if they were to play in a bigger market, Sacramento, the Bay Area, Portland, wherever, there are 19 Josh Dukes at every alternative weekly all over the place.
They'll
in those
get better.
cities that would probably even be meaner than he was. Well, he wasn't trying to be mean. He was, but so I think a lot of people and a lot of bands in Humboldt County get the kid gloves, and they get like, oh, you're on stage. Oh, you're good. You're this and that, and like, oh. My band, I was in a band for a while, and I can't believe we got shows sometimes where they wouldn't even listen to us. And we'd get up there and be paired with a country band. I was in a hip-hop band. We'd pair with a country band and something else, and then the owner would look at us like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, well, you booked this show, man. I mean, come on.
Well, you were the Republican duck hunters. We just expected you to be Republican and duck hunters. We saw your shirt, and we just thought that it was Republican Humboldtian.
Yeah, Reading was the most uncomfortable of those situations, but with two country bands and us.
I love country.
Yeah, and I'm not against country either, but have everyone in the band, literally the place was a country band, us, and a country band. Country band played.
Like that's the grossest sandwich. It's like rye and peanut butter and jelly and rye.
And then we got up on stage, and our 45-minute set turned into a 20-minute set. And because we just said, let's pull the plug, and then the place cleared out, and it was crazy.
It's a sure sign of a booking agent who never listened to a minute of the band. So,
Yeah, well,
sounds good.
Yeah, we were our own booking agent, and the venues just wouldn't. Oh, you want to play? Okay, go ahead. I think Humboldt County has a lot of that. Even though that was in Reading, I think Humboldt County gets a lot of that.
Well, you know something about the local hip-hop scene then? Are there any local hip-hop bands or lyrics that aren't about bitches and weed?
Yeah, there are.
Remember JPG?
Yes.
Oh, he was so great.
Yeah, but that was 10 years ago. Come on.
I know. I miss it so much. There's nothing like that.
Currently, some of the Dirty Rats are still doing things, and they have a lot of songs not about weed. They never went to the bitches and hoes route. And then this new collaboration between Highway and Jose from LCA is called Never Die. They're going that route too. And they, of course, you're from Humboldt. And you're hip hop, you're gonna have one or two songs about it, but you're not all about it. And then Potluck too, even Potluck, stalwarts, they've been around forever, they're going out too. I mean, their name is Potluck, but if you listen to them, it's not Cheech and Chong with beats. That's what I'm saying. It's just like they are branching out too. So yes, they have it. And you know what? I'm finding a lot now that it's been 15, 20 years since hip hop and Humboldt have been like mixing together. A lot of bands now are like. I see them purposely like, oh, we smoke weed, but we're not all about weed. You know what I mean? It's like, we're not going to sit here and make rap after rap about that. Time to change the subject. Sorry, that's like, I thought my phone was off.
No, he times him.
Yeah.
Hip hop, timer. Star Wars, timer.
Yep, built in. So.
Hunting, timer.
So I hear the Humboldt County Film Commission is looking for a new film commissioner.
Really?
What if Savage Henry got that job?
Oh my God, you just stepped down from wiffle ball commissioner. You have a space to be a commissioner.
I have a commissioner vacancy.
If elected, or in this case appointed by a small board, what would you do with that awesome power?
So what does that
could
entail?
you
Like,
do?
is that trying to get people to make films here?
Allegedly.
Okay. No, we can't.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ,
well,
do we have that kind of?
I mean, I would go with the whole branding thing. I would go with the whole I would reach out to the Harold and Kumar producers. I'd reach out to all of them and say, you know what, fuck it, let's
I would go
for
fully
it.
science fiction with the area, with
Well, you
the
got
rocks,
Eureka.
the ocean.
It's Eureka show, Sci-Fi Channel. Has nothing to do with what Eureka is really about.
That's true, but just like the general area, I mean, here in the county has so many, beautiful.
I would try to expand past the car commercials. I mean, it's all car commercials, right? Right now.
That's where the money is.
Car commercials, dinosaur history channel programs. Yeah.
And anyway, that movie Humboldt County kind of made me upset a little bit because, for one thing, you can tell it was made by people who don't live here. If you live here, for another thing,
Fruizeball.
I found out that whole backstory they made. Those two. I mean, this is all just my. I don't know, being on TV and all. It might not be true, and if I'm wrong, call me out on it. I'm cool with that. But I found out the whole backstory of those two guys that made that movie had their whole we visited our uncle for years up here. We just thought it was all a bunch of BS just to help.
They trimmed for a week and made a movie.
Yeah, exactly. It was that type of thing. Where, you know what, there's so many, I mean.
They could have read Kim Kemp's blog and gotten more ideas.
Which is a great blog. I read that. I like it a lot.
Yeah, they misused the Humboldt name, I think. To name a whole movie Humboldt County and have it be that.
Too bad Fruizeball wasn't throughout the whole movie. I really like her.
And it had some spots, but what I enjoyed when I watched it was I went to the Minor and watched it, and people got people knew, because there's all the publicity about being made here, all that stuff, and then when they showed them walking by Wildflower Cafe or whatever in Arcata, they showed that one scene when they're walking by, people are oh my God, there's all getting all excited. I'm like, oh, you went to this movie knowing they made it here? And I'm like, you're really going to get that excited because they're walking by a place you like to eat breakfast once a month,
Oh, people watch sports to get excited like that. I don't know.
But they don't eat breakfast with the Patriots.
Well, there's a good final question. We're seeing with this new county ordinance they're talking about that they're going to toughly regulate indoor, but they're not really regulating outdoor. And you're definitely hearing this in the public comments that the Sohum people are like, yeah, grow it in the sun, which is basically the big middle finger to the whole industry in the coast that has to be indoor because there is no sun. So how do we bridge that urban, rural, southern Humboldt, northern Humboldt, coastal, inland divide?
Straight capitalism. Let's let the market speak for itself. Really, I'm not a grower. I've never grown weed, honestly. Little Bible right here. Never grown weed, and it is like, just let capitalism. It's let them, let the market dictate. Really, that's what I say. It sucks for those people who just got kicked off their care program and stuff because they're growing like living by themselves and not on care with all these ballots and stuff. But I just say let the market dictate. Really, that's my voice. Not the views of me are not officially those of Savage Henry Independent Times.
True anarcho-capitalist to the bitter end. Savage Henry Independent Times.
Savage Henry Independent Times. Yeah. Oh, well, on that level. I mean, I don't like how capitalism goes towards other things. Like
should be grown in the sun. Sorry, guys.
Well, any parting thoughts to the 40,000 plus households watching Access Humboldt, 1 or 2% of which might catch the show?
I love the breakdown. Give me grab it. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Let's say it again. Neither one of our mothers live around here, so that's
they don't watch.
Editor at savagehenrymagazine.com. If you have any comments or advice or concerns, is a good way to get in touch with us.
We pay attention to all of it.
Yes, and
whether
write
we should or
a
not.
letter. If you are having trouble finding the magazine, that's a good place to email us, and we can try and work that out as well. SavageHenryMagazine.com itself is a good place to find out what's going on with the magazine.
I think we should end with a high 10.
High 10? What's that? All right. Thank you.
Beautiful.